Hey, hey, hey. Welcome. It's your girl, Cassie King, and we are going to be discussing some trending topics today. So I hope all is well. Now, normally what we do here is our Bible Tea Party and our verse of the day, but because we've been having a little bit of extra time, we've been having some moments where we have been talking about trending topics with our celebrities. And then, of course, we don't do the gossiping over here. We just review information. And then if you are facing something similar to these kind of situations, I give you guys some biblical advice on these topics because we don't want to be trying to shade none of these celebrities or anything like that. So if it gives that I'm being shady or anything like that, I promise you I'll mean no harm. I'm still working on myself. But anyway, guys, last time we were here, we did talk about a number of topics yesterday. There was some situation happening with a number of celebrities that we discussed yesterday. I believe we talked about Cardi B. She did mention that she feels like violence follows her. So I did give you guys my spiritual opinion on that and my spiritual standpoint on that. So you guys go on ahead and watch that video as well. And I think I'll link that. I'll link that at the end of this video as well. If you have like violence, you feel like violence is following you or something like that, or if you feel like drama follows you. Also, if you feel like there's certain areas in your behavior or your character where you need to mature in. I did mention that with Cardi B. I think she has like a lot of maturing to do in in her reactions to certain things that makes her feel uncomfortable or disrespected. She like to hit or she gives signs of violence. So she definitely needs to mature in that department, in my opinion, when it comes to that, especially in a professional setting, because that could really be a big indication that you have the spirit of violence upon you that's trying to destroy what you got going on. So you don't want that, right? But anyway, so today, what we have on the board or who we have on the board for today is going to be Carry On Franklin. Dum 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 dum. Now, Carry On Franklin is Kirk Franklin's son. Carry On Franklin is known as a reality show star. I believe he's a bad boy reality star. Sure, y'all, I can't talk. I've been talking all day. Uh, he is on the reality show, the Bad Boys reality show. He is also an artist of himself. He does music, his own music as well, and he is Kirk Franklin's son. Kirk Franklin is a gospel singer, director, writer, etc. And so he is just recently came out with some very interesting information that he posted online. So I'm very interested in seeing how this affects other people, but I wanted to talk about it because I know that there's a lot of us, we done got grown, but we have not addressed some of the things that happened to us when we was kids, that we feel like, we bottle these things up, and then it reflects in our choice of how we work, choice of our relationships, choice of words. Like with Cardi B, you never know. Something probably happened to her where she feel like she has to act out in violence to get her point across and stuff like that. And it gives very much so it from somebody looking on the outside in, it's like, oh, that's probably why he this and he that. Carry On also did come out, not that this is important, also did come out as I believe bisexual. I'm not too sure. Because these pronouns, this is like 150,000 plus pronouns now in the world. I'm being dramatic. That's not the exact number, but he identifies as both, I believe so as well. So this could definitely influence how he handles his relationships in the future as well. So we want to pray for Carry On in advance before we get into the details. I do want to let you guys know, trigger warning for some of the topics that we're going to be talking about in relation to Carry On Franklin. Okay, so I did get some information originally on TikTok regarding Carry On, and basically I had saw something last night. I said, I know you lying. Carry On came out on Instagram and posted a very, very questionable picture on his Instagram, I believe, of his back just all types of toe up. It looked like he was one of the ones that was getting whipped by a slave master. Okay, if you guys ain't ever seen one of them movies where the master whips you with a whip, and it shows those like really like sharp whip scratches. Um, that sometimes over time keloid, it looks that bad, y'all. And I'm gonna show you guys a picture. Carry On showed a picture of his back, and these scars look very old. They don't look like he got them within the last month or two. And he writes this very long descriptive uh, post on it, basically saying that he was abused as a child. Now, this isn't his first time coming out as an abuse victim. Carry On to mention this many times. And the thing about it is, his dad, Kirk Franklin, is famous. He's a celebrity, and he's known to be this God-fearing man. And Kirk Franklin is in the light of, the people might not believe Carry On. They might think that this is just a cry for attention, etc. The same thing that they try to be saying about a lot of people who have celebrities as parents. It's like, oh, they just want some attention, or it's just this, it's just that. There was a number of incidents that took place with Carry On, who he has been in a lot of very sinister situations. Okay, so we're going to be talking about him and what been going on with him, because I know, for me personally, I know that there's a lot of people that are going to be able to relate to his situation. Therefore, we could talk about it and have and offer a safe space for you guys that may be able to relate to this. Comment down below if you guys want to share your story as well. Because I feel like a lot of us, we don't talk about it, this kind of stuff enough when we get grown. We just kind of like to bottle things up and just be like, you know what, I'm grown now. That happened a long time ago. But really, in all reality, if we're being honest with ourselves, you have to address those things while you're young, or while you have the money for therapy or something, because, or talk to Jesus and get it out you, because that forms. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Y'all know what I'm about to say. That forms a demonic influence in your life. I know y'all think that I'll be over spiritualizing stuff, but it's true. It's true. Y'all go watch my demonic influence video. I'm trying to put that in this video as well, so y'all can get the link and go watch that, because that's how the devil comes at you. As Peter, the big homie Peter, he said, which is God's disciples, who I'm referring to, one of my favorite disciples. Peter said that the devil is like a roaring lion, and if you look at what a lion does, a lion stalks its prey, and it tries to find its prey while it's vulnerable, young, isolated. And by the time that lion get on you, which normally is probably a lioness, they gonna catch you by that neck, and you ain't gonna be able to get away from the lioness once you get that bite on you, and she string you by the neck. Everything up here, you You get what I'm saying? And that's what the devil does. He try to catch you in an isolated situation and strangles you in your environment. He comes right into your environment. Same thing with a lion, right? They stalk their prey. They watch you and watch you and watch you, and then they come to where you at. Okay, while mom and daddy is gone, while the rest of the pack is gone, and you minding your business. Okay, so Carry On, he has been saying, came out with these things a number of times, and you could tell that he has been having some very dark things happening in his life, and it's probably because of something that happened when he was a child. I'm going based off of assumption, and I know that we all have been through this. So if you guys have been through something similar to this, we're gonna talk about it right now, okay? Now, I'm going ahead and go over some of the things here. Now, again, he has accused his parents of traumatic abuse in a graphic social media upload. The reality star took to Instagram Monday, September 15, with an image of scarring on his back, which he alleged is the result of years of being, and I quote, beat black and blue at the hands of his parents as in both, I believe. He wrote this in his Instagram post. He said, well, I guess I could pull it up for you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I could find it. Did I get the post? Hold on. Did I get the post? Did I get the post? Did I get the post? Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what it say. And it looked like he's in the studio too. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. But yeah, in the post he said, "These scars all over my back are not sex stories." He confessed in his Instagram caption that the detailed alleged abuse, it says, breaks my heart all over again when people ask, because and he put three eyes. What is that? Is that some type of, what does that mean? Why did he put three eyes? Hold on. Why did he put three eyes? What does that mean? Is that a numeral number? Well, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, why did he put three eyes like that? That's throwing me off. He said, I wish that was the case. He said, pain. Okay, let me start over. Sorry, guys. I know I'm confusing y'all. He said, these scars all over my back are not sex stories. Breaks my heart all over again when people ask, because I wish that was the case. Pain is the only feeling that's familiar for me, but whatevs. And for the record, these scars are symbols, he said. They are really signs of many secrets that he put three eyes again, keep bottled up since three eyes again, was a baby being beat black and blue since first grade. I walk with war and betrayal in my posture, so F around and find out who's with the sugar honey iced tea forever. He continued to accuse his parents. He says, parentals enjoyed expressing rotten rage in many ways as punishment, consequence, not that anyone cares about compassion, consideration. These scars are the only memories I have of my childhood. This is not the first time that social media personality has claimed to be the victim of physical and mental wrongdoings, okay? It says here that in 2021, Carrion leaked multiple intense audio recordings that aired out arguments with his father. Kirk Franklin, at the time, the gospel music icon, relayed the message that there had never been anything physical that concerns him. And it was a situation where Kirk Franklin was cussing that boy out. And you know what? At the end of the day, a lot of people paid it because it was like, well, you know, you and your dad was into it and your dad cussed you out. Okay. Yeah, he Christian, but he's still human, you know, and they just paid it or whatever. And so in 2023, and then also too, Kirk Franklin came out with his statement on why he said what he said. And this, I believe, happened, you know, when this happened, everybody just kind of paid it. And Kirk Franklin had made a video like, yeah, my son, he recorded a video. Him and his mom, Kirk Franklin and his wife, they were sitting up looking like honorable Christian people. And you know what I say about certain people that be doing that? You know, they be in a lot of times, and I'm not saying this about them, but I learned that there's some people that be acting all holy and sanctified, and the whole time they souls be where the, you know, in the dark kingdom, are attached to the dark kingdom, and they are considered people that are a part of the land of the living dead. But I digress. Anyway, so be careful, y'all, with these Christians and stuff like that, because you never know if this stuff is true. I know people who really been through this. I know people who have really been through and it's really upset. It breaks my heart, because I know people who are very, very noble Christian people on the outside, but when they at the house, they be beating kids and abusing kids. Okay, now in 2023, the Grammy winner detailed how Carry-On making the phone calls public, which is Kirk Franklin. He said it's the worst 2 years of his life, blah, blah, blah. Kirk Franklin basically paid it, made it seem like his son was, you know, they had an argument. He lashed out and he cussed him out. That's basically how he pretty much watered it down, okay? So that's not the first time he accused his parents of acting out, and that's not the first time he dropped some type of receipt about it. Okay. He said, I am praying that my son will feel and see the support that there is for him to become his best, and the discipline and the work that it takes. I know that it can be overwhelming for him, but I hope that he will see through that he's worth it. He's worth it to himself to do the work that God has, in the story, and his claims go on. And that's Kirk Franklin's beautified explanation, okay, as to why he was talking to his son on the phone like that, like his son was a dog. Okay, he said, I wonder if they got the audio in this thing here. I think I got a video from when that had took place as well. But let me go on ahead and pull up the page. Now I'm reading this off of the Vibe website. Y'all can go in and do your own research if you guys want to go down the rabbit trail. But let me go on ahead and share my screen, and I'm gonna show you guys what these scars look like. I mean, it looks really bad, guys. Seriously. So this is Carry On. Okay. That's Kirk Franklin's son. And these are the scars. I blew it up for you. Look at this one right here. Look at this. This is really bad, guys. That's pretty sad. That triggers me. Okay. And this is the post that he made. I wonder if this is some type of code as well, because people be talking in code. Like, why did he put 3 eyes like that? He said, "'Cause any conspiracy theorists that see this, y'all tell me what y'all think the conspiracy is with this, because that was 3 eyes 3 times. And then he said, these scars are symbols. What does that mean? I get it, like, but anyway, I'm gonna do some conspiracy theory research on my free time. But anyway, that is what the scars look like, y'all. It looked like he was beat pretty bad. If this is what he's alleging, and if that is true, and he's a grown man, and those scars are still that big, and he said that this happened when he was a kid, then that shows you it was probably like a cross, number one, and it's really bad. Okay. That's just really messed up if that's really how they treated their son. I don't know. Y'all comment down below, tell me what y'all think he's trying to do here. Now I'm going to show you guys a video of when Kurt Franklin had opened up about the video, the audio, and then you guys tell me, do you think that he was sincere, and do you guys think that he's capable of doing this? Now, this had came out when he was talking to Carry On like a dog on the phone. Okay, he was telling him how he was gonna beat his A word, and he cussed him out. He was pissed off. Okay, I don't know what Carry On did to piss that man off like that, but he was livid. Okay, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna show you guys just a 1-2. If you guys want to watch the full video, you can. Of do you guys think his parents look sincere or seem sincere?
To fans, here's a portion of it.
Recently, my son and I had an argument that he chose to record. I felt extremely disrespected in that conversation, and I lost my temper. And I said words that are not appropriate. And I am sincerely sorry, all of you. I sincerely apologize. I want you to know as a father that during that conversation, I called the family therapist and got that therapist on the phone to try to help. He never played that part of the recording.
Again, this show is about gospel music. It's not about Kirk Franklin, but this real news happened, and you both have agreed to talk to us. Kirk, let me start with, how did you learn the video had been posted?
Well, a lot of people in our family and community, they privately have known for over 20 years of the tension and challenges that we've been going through as a family privately. I have 4 children. When I married my wife, I had a son, and my wife had a daughter that I adopted. And so my oldest son and my bonus daughter, who's really my daughter, we raised them together, and we have a great relationship with my oldest son's mother. Her name is Sean Ewing. She's an incredible woman. And early on, Tammy, Sean, and myself, we started to realize that there needed to be some deeper help with things that was happening with our son. And so around when he was a teenager, we started.
Okay, so if you guys want to finish watching that, you can. Me personally, I'm a little triggered, so I can't do too much, but yeah. So that is his response to the actual audio that took place. Now the audio is a whole bunch of cussing. Okay, Kirk Franklin was cussing like he wasn't nowhere near no Christian child. Let's keep it real. Now, he also, he as in Carry On. He also was caught in a situation where, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, Carry On was he was arrested in connection to a unaliving of a missing woman. Okay, now this was a few years back as well, in 2022. So Carry On got some little sinister details a part of his life, some very dark details that come with him. What was you doing in a missing woman's car with a firearm? Come on now, that's strange. Anyway, he was arrested and he was being held without bond for a cool little minute, and there was it was a controversy around that as well. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if he was referring to Kirk Franklin as the actual, because he said parents. So I don't know if he was talking about his mom and his stepdad, or if he was talking about his mom and his real dad, or what. Because it's given that Carry On has his own mom, and Kirk Franklin remarried or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But there are so many people that are in this situation. Okay. And it's really sad. And I pray that Carry On, we want to claim in the name of Jesus that Carry On gets delivered from this darkness that is surrounding him. He may need to leave that show as well, because there's a lot of violence on those kind of shows that he's a participant on. And me personally, when I did watch some of the show, I noticed that Carry On did not do violence back. And a lot of times he would avoid conflict with guys when they would try to hit him and stuff. He would run around. I haven't watched the show recently, though. But he'll run and avoid doing, back-to-back hitting. He'll just dodge hits and run away because he don't want to hit. But and so I know that he probably wants to be a good person. He probably wants to be a good boyfriend, and he probably wants to be a good artist, but he just has these scars, literal scars on his back, but he also has these scars from his past when he was a kid and teenager, etc., that his parents may have done to him, that things may have happened to him. So the fact that Kirk Franklin was cussing that man out like that on that phone shows that Kirk Franklin has probably disregarded him a number of times, made him feel less than a man a number of times. Probably, I know for sure that that's what be happening in families. People's egos get in the way, and people don't see hurt for hurt. They just see I'm trying to be this and you trying to be that, and da da da, and everybody's at each other's throat and everybody's at each other's neck, and that is all works of the devil, the spirit of chaos. So you want to reject that and reject that in the name of Jesus. So I pray that he gets delivered from that situation in that darkness that surrounded him. Okay. I want to show you guys a statement that Jesus had made when he was doing his teaching. I believe it's in the book of Matthew about how he feels how people feel, how he feels about children and how you should handle children and what the punishment is for handling those children inappropriately. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. But yeah, y'all got to watch how y'all handle these kids in this world, because one thing about it is God do not play about kids. Okay. When you cause a child to sin, when you cause a child to sin or put something on a child that leads them to sin, that's one of the worst things that you could possibly do. Okay. Because one thing about it is never never harm the innocent. Okay. Because that'll be fatal for you spiritually. Okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Which one is that though? Um, but it doesn't say. That's gonna irritate me. Okay, Matthew 18. Okay, I found it, guys. All right, so let me show you guys something here, what the Bible says about children and harming kids. Because Kurt Frank, what's his name? Carry on making it seem like Kurt Franklin had been abusing him since, not Kurt Franklin, but his parents had been abusing him. We don't know what parents. We don't know if it was his mom and his stepdad, or his his real mom, his real dad, or his mom, his real dad. He doesn't specify, but which it doesn't matter, right? He made it seem like he was abused starting from the first grade, is what he said. All right. And according to what Jesus say, if any one of these little ones, those who believe in me, if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them to have a large milestone hung around their neck and be drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe to the world because of the things that cause people to stumble. Such things must come, but woe to the person through whom they come. If your hand or your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to enter a life maimed or crippled than to have 2 hands or 2 feet and be thrown into eternal fire. That's what it say. Keep your hands to yourself, man. Period. Okay? There's no reason for you to be putting your hands on nobody, especially not no child. There's a special place in hell for people that do that, in other words. Specifically, verse 6, again, that's Matthew 18, verse 6. You better off going and drowning in the sea with the Leviathan before you go and put your hands on a child, an innocent child. That's a hard no. It's one thing when you fighting somebody, a sinner against sinner, but when you go and you harm an innocent child, if anything causes you to harm an innocent child, it's a special place in hell for you. Period. Okay. Now, there was a lot of controversy about this because people were just like, assuming that, it's like Kirk Franklin's son. And, everybody thinks that Kirk Franklin is this God-fearing Christian man who would never do such a thing. And maybe he is a God-fearing Christian man who would never harm his children, and he's trying to do the therapy thing and you never know, right? But at the end of the day, we don't know these people personally. All we know is what they tell us and what they put out there on the internet. But because this is a trending topic, I know that there's a lot of people who can relate to this. So if you have been in a situation where your parents, your mom or your stepmom or your stepdad or your guardian, your foster parent, or someone that's supposed to be your guardian, or your the adult that's supposed to protect you or take care of you, if they have harmed you, know that you are not alone, that there's a lot of people in this world. Use your voice, speak up, and get the help that you need, because the devil will use that to oppress you. Okay? I've seen it time and time again. Don't blame God for what the devil's done. Call on God to defeat the devil. You got free will. Okay? This right here is very sad, and I feel so bad because I've seen Carry On the show when I used to watch the show. I don't watch it anymore. I don't watch anything that be doing too much violence stuff because I get triggered. But I noticed that he was avoiding violence a lot in that show. He avoided the best he could. He would run away if he had to, because that's just not him, And I think that he got on the show for money and to find his own way and everything else like that. But I also feel like Carry On, we want to pray. We pray that, Jesus gets to him and heals his wounds from whatever caused his back to look that way. If it was something in a negative light, and if he is being honest about his parents beating him, I do feel very bad for him. and for people that's grown now that's still in pain from that, because you don't get over abuse. Only way you get over abuse is if God heals you from it. You can go to therapy, you can take medication, but if God doesn't heal your heart, you will always live with it forever. Okay? So that's that on that. Next is that I want to talk to on the person that I want to talk about on the board today is the one and only Saweetie. Okay? Now Saweetie is a Saweetie is a rapper. She's very beautiful, light skinned lady. She got, I think one of her songs is uh my type. That's my type. That's my type. I don't know. I don't listen to her music that much, but she got some trending songs. She got a little riz about her. She used to date one of the Migos as well. They had a situation in the elevator. She was trying to grab a bag. He was trying to grab a bag. He snatched the bag. She fell back on her back. It was like this whole little dramatic elevator scene that they had. But yeah, she's a rapper. She had her moments, and she's been doing a lot of interviews. Well, people are talking about her because she had made a statement about pretty privilege. And she says that she was shining light on her other experiences. She says that she had a number of things where she want that they were talking about when she mentioned her pretty privilege statement. Now, there's a lot of people who have pretty privilege. I feel like pretty privilege is a thing. Don't be a hater. If you ugly, just say that. No, if you ugly, just say that. No, but pretty privilege is a thing. When you go somewhere and you pretty, you could be like, you might be able to cut in line and ain't nobody gonna say nothing. They might be like, girl, okay, you lucky, you cute. Go ahead, you can cut. Or if you feel like, because you pretty, you might be able to get out of a ticket. You bat your eyes at the police officer like, I'm sorry, Mr. Officer, I would never do that again. You might have, that's pretty privilege. That's what I think pretty privilege is. You might be able to get away with certain things, and you might be able to get into certain rooms just because of the way that you look. They might be like, have you guys ever seen Blonde? What is it? What's the movie? Pink and Blonde? I forgot what it's called. Hold on. It's an old movie. Legally Blonde. That's what it's called. It's from 2001. It's an old movie. It's a little white girl. And she's so adorable, y'all. She's so sweet, but she's just really, really, really pretty and preppy. And she wear pink all the time. And she just like, her favorite color is pink. She got pink everything. But she really smart. She really pretty and she really attractive, but she really, really smart, right? And so y'all go and watch the movie. But anyway, the whole reason why she even kind of got into the school is because the video that she sent was her at the pool, and she had on her little two-piece. And it was because of the video she sent. Okay, it was about her looking real nice and pretty, but the stuff that she was talking about, she took the test, she actually passed the test. Okay, she actually passed the test, she actually passed the exams, she actually won her cases and everything else like that. But the majority of the reason why she got through the door originally is because of how she looked. Okay, and the majority of the reason why she was even associated with a lawyer is because he liked the way she looked, period. He wasn't thinking about the fact that she actually was smart and actually was smart enough to be a lawyer, right? So it just goes to show you, like, it's a comedy, but it's also goes to show you that just because I'm pretty and just because I'm beautiful doesn't mean that I'm not smart or whatever. I think what's another one? Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton used to play like she wasn't all that smart. Paris Hilton is a female genius. Don't let Paris Hilton play in y'all face. Paris Hilton is a grinder, a hustler, and she is a mastermind. That lady is very smart. Okay, same thing with Tweety was basically given. Okay, so she was basically clarifying where she stands when it comes to a situation with pretty privilege. Basically saying that there's pretty privilege and pretty punishment. Okay, so it's an interview circling around about Saweetie, how she responds to a situation. Now, everybody online is talking about it, but I'm cute. Why am I not as cool? Okay. Let me see. I want to pull up something so y'all can see who I'm talking about. First of all, so Weedy is very beautiful. Okay. She one of the pretty ones. She's a pretty young lady. Here, let me show you guys the Wrap It Up site. And I like the way she talked too. She have a very, very beautiful voice, like how her dialect. Okay, so this is Miss Pretty Privilege. Okay, and this is the interview. We ain't gonna do too much, but I want y'all to.
When you know, you know. And when I'm ready in my career to do that next year, hopefully.
I was like, hold on, we're gonna hold you to it. Yeah.
I think it just comes down to that. Only because debut albums are just, they're sacred.
Yeah.
You know, they set the tone, really.
Yeah.
But fortunately for me, I've had all this without an album. So
It's crazy.
I could only imagine what's to come after I drop one.
And you talked about how, being so successful for your career and not having a debut album, it is iconic. You have posted that. And I'm so glad you embraced that, because that's crazy. I think, again, I know people don't think I'm throwing shade at other people. I'm really not. But I don't think I've seen an artist have the kind of superstar level, the kind of deals that you get, just this aura that you have without one. You have more than a lot of people that got more albums out.
You know, my business team told me that too.
Double down on that. They're doing a great job, but it's not just them. It's your vision, sweetie. I know, like, you're very nice.
So as you can see, Miss Pretty Privilege got it going on without an album. Okay, she don't need no album. Okay, she got pretty privilege. Amen. So anyway, y'all, I want y'all to go and watch the video and get to know Miss Saweetie, because it is true. I mean, I remember when there was other artists, I think, who as far as female artists go, I grew up on Nicki Minaj. So y'all know I grew up on her. I grew up on Eve as well, because like my aunties and them used to play Eve and Trina and them, stuff like that. But I know that one of Nicki Minaj's biggest punchlines when she was coming up, and when she was like coming up during her like rookie stage, or not rookie, but I guess rookie stage, or when she was, before her album dropped, she was like, $50K for a verse, no album out. Everybody know that one. You get what I'm saying? She was doing real good without an album. So for Sweetie to be able to say that is, listen, you better clock it, okay? You better wake that up. Now, so they talk about she, this and that. She might be very beautiful and she might be very pretty, but she also got skill and talent, because she is very much so known without an album. So you can't say that. Not everybody can say that, She got some type of skill. She got some type of, riz about her, to where she can be able to say things like that. That shows that she has a business mindset, and she do her interviews, and she's very, very classy too. She's very classy. I like the way she talk. I really do. And so it gives that, some people feel some type of way about some of the things that she may have said about her pretty privilege. But I mean, if you ugly, just say that. No, I'm just playing. Because at the end of the day, she explained that her appearance has often led her to unfair treatment and biasness in the music industry. They feel like, oh, if you too cute for that, sex sales, stuff like that. I bet. She revealed that she was once told to twerk more, and that her voice was very boring, highlighting this situation that she, has had to experience in the music industry. I know Cardi B has mentioned it. Nicki Minaj has mentioned it. Beyonce has mentioned it, which they was telling her, you know, that song is too harsh for you, or too soft for you, or it's time for you to turn for you to this. You know, they want you to take this off and put this on and say this like this and say this like that, you know. And because these are beautiful women, and so they feel like, well, since you pretty, let you know, get a little bit more of this and get a little bit more of that and talk a little harder and all that, because she has a very soft tone and she's very demure for the most part. Okay. um she said, what I deal with in the industry is just different, is just different face. Some case, she explained. She says, I see it and it just shows up in different ways. She said, um, being mediocre compared to other female rappers by truly believing you're being punished by the same industry solely because of your appearance, when you're only in it because of your appearance. Okay. And so, this is of confirmation of biasness. Sweetie clapped back. She says, I was just shedding light on how I've encountered many misogynistic scenarios because of my appearance. Okay. So imagine being thrown dirt. Imagine throwing dirt on me and I shine like this. Okay. But you know what? At the end of the day, you ain't got to explain yourself to nobody. You can express how you want to express. If they take it the wrong way, they can take that up with their mama. Okay, they instead of them trying to try her, they need to try Jesus. People be worried about the wrong thing. Honestly, really honestly speaking, they need to read a book. Some people need to read a book. Seriously. Because you should never be that offended that this lady was expressing how she felt about her career and how she felt about her job. Okay? Um so Sweetie spoken about her experiences with the music industry last year in March. They say that somebody told her she needed to twerk more and that her voice was born and all of this and all of that. She been talking about how because she looked good and that's because she's pretty, they want her to do certain things or dress certain ways. But not all of them, but a lot of female artists say this. Okay, a lot of female artists say this in the movie. I don't know because she's before my time, but in the movie about Biggie Smalls, it's a scene with Lil Kim and him, and he was making Lil Kim. You know, Lil Kim was doing her rap thing and this and that. She had on this like shirt with the suspenders or whatever. And so Biggie Smalls was like, "Oh yeah, that's cute and everything, but remove the shirt." And then the suspenders was the only thing covering her. You get what I'm saying? And let's be real, Lil Kim do not look like the original Lil Kim no more. She done changed herself all the way up. She looks like um I really don't mean to offend nobody, but in my opinion, she looked like Faith Evans. I mean, it looked like she was trying to make herself look like Faith Evans because she got lighter. She got a whole bunch of different things done, and it looks like she was trying to look like a Faith Evans kind of looking girl, because that's what they was. I guess I don't know, but anyway, and it's probably because of the industry. Sweetie has said this many a times though. This ain't her first time, so I don't know why people coming at her like she, should feel some type of way about speaking her truths. That she just because she's pretty, they treat her a certain way. They want to overly sexualize her. And she's like, okay, one thing is one thing, and saying certain things and saying certain things, but there's some things that I'm just y'all getting me, y'all trying to get me to be something that I'm not. Now, yes, I'm beautiful, and yes, we grown, but some things are just too grown, or some things are just too succular, or some things she just not finna bend her morals over every little thing. She just not finna just, that's probably what it's given. Now, you guys, y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about her pretty privilege persona, her pretty privilege outlook. But I know there's a lot of people who like the Legally Blonde movie I was telling y'all about. Her dude, she goes up to her dude, and he's going to the same law school as her. He got this new little law school girlfriend who's kind of boring and everything. She's just as smart as them. She is just as educated as them, and she's passing all of the exams just like them. But they treat her different because she's cute. And so she told him, she said, I would never be enough for you, huh? And that's when she had the realization. She said, okay, I'll show you. I'll show you just how much enough. Just he was like, do something. He was like, you want to do something better with your time. Don't you got things that pretty girls do? And she like looking at him like I'm in college, like everybody else. I came to this college for you, and you gonna tell me to go do something else? All the work I did, pass this exam and all this. So yes, there is a such thing as pretty privilege, and it has its positives and its negatives. Miss Legally Blonde, Miss Saweetie get pulled over by the police, and they do this. I'm sorry, officer. I didn't realize I was speeding. Can you please give me a pass just this one little time? You get what I'm saying? Show them a little nip and tuck. Shoot. They gonna get all the police officer be like, you know what, young lady? I understand. You pretty girls, you guys, you don't know how to pay attention. You keep your eyes on the road. I know you're probably putting your lip gloss on. I'll give you a warning. They do it. It's pretty privileged. And then the same girl, she get to work. Same girl, she was rushing really to get to her job interview. The job interview tell her, well, if you want this job, then your hair has to always be down. Your skirt got to be this high, and your shirt got to always be unbuttoned. She like, but this is a desk job, and that doesn't seem work appropriate. Yeah, but you're going to be at the entrance, and we want our clients to have something to look at. For example, I just came up with that off the top of my head. She was like, whole time, the only reason why you gave me this interview is because you thought I would go for it because I'm pretty. You get what I'm saying? So same thing with Nicki Minaj. I think she's mentioned it before. I know Cardi B, she getting tired of it. She just threw that. I think we just talked about how she threw that pin at that reporter. Like, that's not how, like, you need to respect me as a woman. Because one thing what I put on my music, but as a woman, you need to respect me. Wait a minute, hold on. And that's just how the world is. She told him, she said, you don't see none of these women asking me them kind of questions. You get what I'm saying? And it's because she pretty. You get what I'm saying? So y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about Saweetie or people that have pretty privilege. And do you guys feel like it's a double standard? Do you feel like pretty girls get treated differently than average looking girls, or do you feel like women in general? And I don't know if it's just a pretty thing. I think it's a woman thing really in all reality, because we all, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. But we all done had our moments um as women where just because we are female, people treat us a certain way in the work life, in the work industry. But the music industry is a crazy place to exist in. I know Sweetie that had moments where she done chopped all her hair off. She done went down a spiritual journey before. She got to play gospel music before bed. She done mentioned that before. So when she says this kind of stuff, it makes me worried about other artists, like the ones that I like to listen to. For example, I told y'all last time, I am I told y'all Mariah the Scientist got me wrapped around her pretty little pinky toe right now. So I hope they don't be doing that to her. Okay. But shoot, that's the end of that for the trending topics today. I hope that you guys was able to hang out and get a good word. So again, let's not be abusing nobody's kids, and let's not abuse our power on how we handle people in the industry based off of how we look, or how we handle people, period, based off of how they look. It's all about what's inside. Okay. You can't just assume just because I'm pretty or that I'm female that I'm finna just be going for some of these things that you saying that you want me to do in any work environment. I know that there's a such thing as harassment, and HR is not always your best. HR is not always your friend. Okay. So if you've been through that, comment down below, tell us your story. And if you want to share it, let us know. We'll go on ahead and be doing some joinings and stuff like that too as well. In the near future. It's your girl Cassie King, and I am out. Hugs and kisses, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.